All right, I'm aware this is a little bit out of order, but there's no spreadsheet release for Europe yet, and I know that comes out in a week, but this is the more exciting one to me anyways, because it's North America, and I know plenty more about North America than I know about Europe. I'm kind of guessing. Check out Adam Core on Twitter. This guy's kind of cracked. This is a great tweet. I did appreciate that. Um, but yes, so here we go. We've got the North American Invitational, and this is where things get interesting because the current point standings is just absolutely absurd. The seating is, this is the seating. Do we have RLCS points? Yes. Here's our spring points. So, what the heck? What the heck? Like, what is happening here? So, it's going to be an interesting major race. I'm going to give my best predictions. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but my hopes are very high. I'm not taking paid time off work to watch this, but it did cross my mind. Um, anyways, let's get into it. FaZe Clan 3 G League. Hello? I have to get to the right one. FaZe Clan 3 G League. Furia NRG. This is a big matchup because here's the thing. Furia is undefeated against FaZe this season. NRG had a really good run last event. They beat Furia last event in a best of 7, I believe. But if Furia wins this, it could flip the entire bracket if they continue their streak of being able to beat FaZe. We've also seen the last time that there were a month break for FaZe, they came out and got 9th through 12th in the next event. That was the Winter Open after the Fall Major. That was about a month break. Actually, it was longer than a month break. You had the Spring Open after the Winter Major for FaZe. They also got 9th through 12th in that. And so I'm wondering if this month break in between the Cup and the Invitational is actually going to affect them. Obviously, there's a bit more on the line with this one, so I don't think it will. All that being said, I'm going to give this to a close NRG and a close one. I think it'll be an exciting matchup, but I think NRG, they're not back, but they're more back. They're back enough to beat Furia. So, G2 and M80, it's 3-0. I haven't seen it from M80 the split, and granted that's because I haven't really seen any of their games. I listened to them get absolutely annihilated by Space Station in their first game of the split, but I'm just not feeling the M80 hype train. I am feeling the Virtual 1 hype train, however, as they won the last event. They will continue to do well. 3-0 over Koi. I like this Koi team a lot, but I like this Virtual 1 team more. Complexity Axel, tough for Axel, but I always get matchup against Complexity. I'll give it a 3-1. I'm just feeling one game for some reason, but it's going to be pretty well dominated by Complexity. This will be like, a game 3 win. So, Optic and Shopify. I feel like if there's a game that's going to be an upset, it's probably going to be this one. That being said, I do trust the process. I'm going to be very boring with these predictions. I mean, obviously, most of the expected teams are going to go through in this upper bracket, which is what we saw last event, despite all the chaos that happened in the next ensuing round. This is enough. Rebellion has an outside shot of making land, but I don't think they can go on a big enough run as they would have to beat Optic, and then Complexity is just a very tough task for them. Genji and Sup. Now, this is a 3 versus 14 matchup. We saw the 3 versus 14 matchup lose twice in the opens. I don't think it'll happen here, though. I think Genji is going to come out pretty strong out of the gates. They'll be able to take down Sup. Granted, Sup could make that miracle run, so it's not entirely impossible that Sup win this game. I just don't see it happening, honestly. Space Station Dignitas, and this will not be close. I wanted to see absolute annihilation. I want to see 4-0, 3 games back to back. I'm pissed that we lost to Dignitas twice last split. I'm sure Arsenal and LJ kind of feel that way, and I feel like this is the perfect time to let them know that we're going to this major, and they're not. That felt personal. You can tell that was personal. G League Furia. I feel like Furia is going to show up and be in prime Furia form, if you know what I mean. Pulling close games where they shouldn't. They're not making this major in my book, and the results will pretty much prove that. M80 versus Koi. At least I'm kind of hoping that happens, given what might happen here. M80 versus Koi. I'm feeling the Koi. I'm feeling the Koi 3-1. I like Fish. Shopify Rebellion and Team Axel. I don't want to predict no upsets. I don't know why I'm doing this one first. This is not chronologically accurate. I don't know why I'm not picking any upsets. I just like the better teams because they're better. This one I'll give the nod to I'll give the nod to Sup though. I'll have Dignitas going out here. I feel kind of bad. I like this roster, but it was pretty clear at the major that they couldn't play well together, and they haven't really shown me anything this split. So I will have them going out with the upset for Sup, giving them that nod. I know they didn't make the Spring Cup, but they did pretty well in the Spring Open, so I'll give them that nod. FaZe NRG. NRG is not back enough to win this game. I'll give them 1. I feel like this could be the perfect opportunity for like that game 3 14-minute overtime. And I doubt we'll see that again, but I feel like that's the kind of series this is going to be. You know, NRG will look like they're in it. They'll get either game 1 or game 2. They'll play it close in game 3, but once they lose that close game 3, FaZe Clan's going to take it. Version 1 G2 is going to be a shellacking. I have no faith in G2. And if there's any event that G2 is going to bounce back and prove it wrong, it's this one. I just don't think they have it in them. And I think they're probably going to end up being too far behind for it to matter, even if they do have a pretty good run. Complexity Optic. Now, Complexity did go out 9th through 12th last event. And this is where we kind of get into an interesting spot because Gen G did as well. It's the question of will they bounce back? Now, Complexity, who did they lose to? They lost to version 1 and they lost to NRG. NRG's on paper, you know, supposedly not a great loss this season, but they did make their miracle run to top 4 in this event. And they also took down G2 and Fury on the way. I'm not too worried about Complexity. I want Optic to make this major, but I'm not sure they're going to. I'll give it a 3-1. And we'll see how the points end up playing out. Gen G Space Station. Look, it's not impossible. I said this last video. If there's ever a time for Space Station to beat Gen G, it's in a best of 5. And they did it in that best of 5, right? But I gotta trust Gen G's regain. Now, granted, their 2 losses last event. Space Station's not a bad loss. Rebellion kind of is. And I like the Rebellion team a lot. They have a lot of talent, but this Gen G roster should not be losing to Rebellion. So hopefully they're able to figure it out within this month. Actually, I hope they're not able to figure it out for this match within this month. But we'll end up seeing, of course. Space Station Furia. 3-1. Actually, no, 3-0. I'll have it be a SmackDown. Listen, I know there's a little bit of bias. I know there's a little bit of, you know, me hoping Furia doesn't perform well. But let's be real. What have they done in North America? There was that one comment on the Reddit where it was the penguin walking down the street. And it's like he's on the wrong side of the continent. Like, that was the most accurate representation of Fury I think I've seen all year. So, maybe it's a bit of me coping. Maybe it's a little bit of whatever. But I don't think it's wrong for me to have the Space Station team top 8 at the absolute bare minimum, especially given what they've shown us this season. And I think we're going to see a Furia that is not the off-season tournament grinders, you know, start a spring split that we saw. So, Furia at 9th through 12th. Optic Koi, this is upset potential, I'll say. This does have upset potential. I'll make it close. But I feel like this would be the perfect opportunity for Magic Bear to get the ice in a Game 5 overtime and them to get confident. I hate what I just did. I just saw the next matchup. I hate everything. Anyways, G2 Shopify. I have to give it to G2. I wanted to give it to Shopify. Shopify's gotten top 8 in every single split. I can see it. I can see it happening. I'll predict it. And maybe I'm high on the copium, but maybe I need to be. Energy sup. If there's a matchup that Energy wants here, it's absolutely sup. Oh my gosh, it's happening. I think I know what I'm doing. I hate that I know what I'm doing, but I think I know what I'm doing. Actually, scratch that. I absolutely know what I'm doing. Here we go. Predictions. I'm going to cry. NRG wins this pretty cleanly. Although that's kind of a toss-up, right? Because Shopify's been kind of cooking them in some qualifiers and in some main events. It's not impossible for Rebellion to get top 6 here, but I'll trust in the regain. I'll have that be a banger matchup. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and it's going to be so fun. Version 1's going to come out on top, though. I'll trust the regain over complexity. I mean, Gen G said they were focused on complexity. I trust that they were. They just forgot about the other teams that could beat them. And so, yeah, I'll trust Gen G to make that. This is a 4-0 last event. I'll give it a 4-1 this event. And then this is where we saw the upset for Energy last time. I don't think we're going to see the same thing. I'll give them 2, though. It was a respectable performance, but I think they'll just be barely missing outs. Version 1 versus Gen G. I feel like if Jimmy's watching this video, he'll be happy with me. But if he's not, then I'll be predicting this for absolutely no reason. That being said, I kind of trust the bounce back. I don't know why. Why do I keep trusting the bounce back? I've said this a lot, and they haven't bounced back yet. If you really look at it, they did make the finals, but they lost in the finals to Complexity. And I didn't think that was possible, honestly. FaZe is going to beat Complexity here. 4-2. It's the upper bracket curse. And I just really like this matchup, man. I really do. 4-3. I'll have it. I'll have it the distance with FaZe winning. And that's probably a bold prediction, but I think I like it. And then I very much did this intentionally. Listen to me. Listen. If I had my way, I'd eat peaches every day. That's probably a dated reference for most people. But I'd have this happening, right? And then, whoa, we're in second. We're also not going to the finals over version 1. But, like, it's so close. You can play around with these scenarios so much, right? And I tweeted this out. This is the most likely tiebreaker we're going to see. And it pains me. I think this matchup is the key. I think this is the most important matchup to watch when it comes to major qualification. It really is. Because I think Optic has Space Station's number. And Gen G is probably the most likely team to get knocked out that has made the finals. So, I trust FaZe. I think FaZe is a good matchup. I think this is another key matchup. Like, if I'm deciding the stream matches, I'm putting this matchup on stream, Fury versus NRG, and then I'm putting Gen G versus Space Station, without a doubt in my mind. Those are the most important matches that should be on the mainstream come Friday. Or next Friday, I guess that is. It's probably a longer video at this point. We're at 12 minutes. I really don't care. There's a lot to talk about. I think this is the next exciting matchup for here, and then obviously this. So, yeah, there's really a lot. I think a decent amount could be known by Friday. But this matchup is crucial. If Space Station wins this match, they're basically through, I think. And if Gen G lose this match, they're dropping down to face Furia, which I have them over Furia. And they have a good match. Like, they have a good run here, right? Let's readjust this. If Space Station does win this, and I don't want to get my hopes completely up, but here's what I see happening, right? Gen G takes this over Optic. That basically knocks Optic out. And then, yeah, that's pretty accurate final, I'd say. Maybe switch those two, but it doesn't really matter points-wise. But see how this changes? Oh, dear goodness, that's close, dude. Wait, that would be, this is for LAN qualification. Golly, that'd be an exciting matchup. So yeah, this matchup is probably the most crucial matchup we will see when it comes to LAN qualification. Because if Gen G win this, they're probably in. If Space Station win this, they're probably in. But the loser is probably stuck here. And this Optic Gaming roster is not to be trifled with. Especially considering it could also be Complexity. It could also be Rebellion. We could see Optic on this side of the bracket, and then things get really dicey. That's a little bit too much of a theoretical, and I'm going over on time. Thank you all for watching. I'm so stressed, guys. If I'm being real, I'm so stressed. Like, I have my hat. Like, it looks ridiculous like this. I'm ready to go. I so badly want to see this team on LAN. And, yeah. Maybe I'll just take my lunch at like 2 p.m. on Friday. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.